Alright guys, welcome back. So I'm going to jump into this quick video. Before I do, show you the comparisons between the 2.7T and the 2.8 heads. I want to let you know that you should probably check out my Instagram, subscribe. I'll put the links here in the video now on screen so you can see it. Alright, did you subscribe? Cool. You do not want to miss this build. I've got the motor tore apart. If that's not enough of a tease for you, I don't know what is. The car's sitting out there in the driveway. You can hear my baby screaming in the background, whatever. We're about to do the damn thing, but here we go. To start with, I do want to let you guys know that in essence, the heads are pretty much exactly the same. The cam caps, the cam spacing, the cams are even interchangeable between the 2.7 and the 2.8 heads. So I want to start the video out by saying the similarities between the two, and then I'll cover the differences in the ports. The 2.7 head is 5 valves, just like the 2.8 heads, as you can see. 5 valves, 3 intake, 2 exhaust. I did take the exhaust valves out of this head and swap over to here. Just to be on the safe side, I have read mixed reviews on the forums. Some of them were professional guys from like ECS or whatever that were commenting on the forums, said that the exhaust valves are the same between the two heads, and then other folks said that they are different, you should swap them over. So I chose to be safe and swap them over. I'd rather be safe than sorry, but if they're the same, it doesn't matter. And what I mean by the same is the difference that there supposedly is one is sodium filled and the other is not. Up here wise, everything is the same. Everything interchanges. All the followers, the cam chains, and the adjusters are all interchangeable between the two heads. Let me flip this one over. So again, the ports are very similar, but in essence, the same on the bottom end too. So I'm not sure of the difference in the volume in the cylinders. I'll have to do more research, and maybe I'll put that in the video here. I think they're the same, but I know as far as the valves, all of that should be interchangeable for your reference. Alright, I know this is probably the least exciting part, but I'm going to go ahead and measure the exhaust ports on both the 2.7 heads, the one that doesn't have all the cams and stuff in it, and the 2.8 heads. So initially, we're looking at about, I'd say 35.75, 35.8, somewhere in that range. The middle one, about 36 millimeters. And then about 35.75 to 36 on the 2.7. Now let's go to the 2.8 head. We're looking at a solid 36, 36, a little over 36, and a little over 36 on that one too. Okay, so roughly the same size exhaust ports as this thing. I would say there's probably a little bit of error in there. Again, I want to make sure you subscribe. Don't miss out on the build. Follow me on Instagram because I do post pictures and videos and stuff like this randomly on my story, as well as in my my little showcase there, or whatever you call it. But check it out. I am active in my community. I do try to answer questions. So if you have any questions in regards to what I'm doing here that I haven't answered yet, I promise you I probably have a lot of material coming up, because I do have a lot of differences to cover as my build progresses, like what I'm currently facing with the intake manifold because of the port differences, but I'll cover that in a later video, so that's why you got to subscribe. But anyways, let's get to the port. Intake port, that is. Alright, so the major difference between these two heads is the intake port. Clearly, if you can't see that in the video, you've got to be blind. My prediction before I get to measuring, I haven't measured it fully yet, so I don't know for sure because I wanted to wait. I've been worried about other things. So leave your predictions in the comments. But to me, the ports look to be the same height, and this one seems to be about a ½ an inch wider than the 2.7. So intake manifold wise, the 2.7 heads are ported for this. So there is a little bit of a port mismatch. There is about a $120 piece that you can buy from 034 Motorsports or one of those companies. That is a phenolic spacer that will convert in a short distance this opening here to the smaller opening to help kind of divert some of the air. It doesn't work the best for flow. I'd rather have the full size opening the whole way, but that may be what I have to use temporary until I can find a less than $900 RS4 manifold or figure out something equivalent. That's the differences in the manifold. The RS4 is a completely different style, but I'm going to look into a solution for my particular setup to match the ports with an intake manifold with the proper size runners as well. But let's go ahead and get to the measurement, shall we? You've waited this long. We're looking at roughly 42.6, 42.5 millimeter width on the intake. I'm trying to get, as you can see, I'm trying to keep it as close to the edge as possible. So 40, 43.5. I guess not all these are the same. 43. Yeah, about 40. So it's safe to say that these are about 43 within my accuracy, which I would say is probably 10% at this point. But I'm going to measure the width here. 56 millimeters, 56.6. Okay. 57, so we're going to probably say this is probably an average of 57. Yeah, it's probably safe to say about 57. Maybe I went too deep in the other ones. It just depends. Let's see. Yeah, so 50, 56.8, 57, somewhere like that. So we're going from 57 to literally that much. That is how much larger the port is. Well, here, I guess that would be a better accuracy. That is how much bigger the port is in comparison to the 2.7. Is it half an inch bigger? I don't know. You tell me. You do the math. It's close. Well, you know what? Let's find out. Inches. So, let's just do this. Let's say 1.7 inches. Let's zero this scale out. 0. And let's go. Oh my goodness. Wow. What did I say? Half an inch? I hope I did. I hope I didn't say quarter of an inch, because look at that. That is pretty much half an inch. Let me know what you guys said in the comments, or were thinking beforehand. Now let's go to the height in millimeters, because I'm a millimeter guy myself. Let's zero this out. So the height, just going to go in the middle. It looks like about 27. About 27. About 27. Okay, that's about the same. Yeah, maybe it's a little bit bigger on the 2.8s, but I feel like it's reasonable to say that they are confidently the same height. And then real quick, before I end the video, now that we've covered this, the cams that I'm using are the stock 2.8 cams. They are very close to the RS4 style cams, except the duration and lift is slightly more. I'm going to go ahead and throw the chart up here now. So that about does it for this video. I hope that you learned a lot, or at least that this video was helpful in some way, shape, or form. If you have any questions, I do read the comments. Feel free to leave me a comment, question, or just let me know that you're following the build. Take care, and we'll see you in the next one.